Doodly has a ton of assets for you to use in your animations. You can also use your own images by importing them into the program. The catch is that the program doesn't understand how to draw your imported images, and it ends up looking like it's being painted on. Enter Doodly's trace function, where you can teach Doodly how to draw your images. Let's take a look at how this works. In this video, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to use the trace function. The trace function in Doodly is very useful if you don't want your assets to look like they're painted on. And I'm going to show you an example of something that I imported. Here is something that I called Angry Face Untraced, and I'll pull it over, and there it is. Now, in order to see what it really looks like, we're going to hit Preview. And all it does is it looks like it's being traced, it looks like it's being painted on. So, and the reason is because this is my own imported image, and Doodly doesn't yet understand what it's supposed to do with that image. So I'll leave the untraced one here because I want a side-by-side comparison to see what it looks like. And then I'll get another one that with a different file name that's just like it. And it is down here somewhere. There we are. There's the other one. Now these look exactly alike, and if you're wondering why I have two images that look exactly alike, it's because that once this is done being traced and saved, it's every time you use that particular image, it's always going to be traced. So you don't have to trace it all over again if you're using it in a brand new project. And that's kind of the beauty of it. Now, in order to trace this so it looks like it's traced, we're going to click on it. And then up here, there's a teeny weeny little pencil. And we'll click on the pencil. And so over here, that opens this. And notice that it will show you what it looks like. It just keeps doing that over and over and over again. Now to trace this, you'll have to have paths. So here's path number 1, and if you notice down here we've got a path. Here's the path size, which if you don't like the path size, we can change it in the middle of the trace. It doesn't really matter. It kind of depends on what you want it to look like. So we have path 1, and I'll start down here. Notice I have a little cross right here, and if you click on it, you're going to get a little dot. So you'll just keep moving and click on the next dot, click on the next dot. Sometimes I click too many dots, but click the next dot, and all the way around the bags under this angry guy's eyes. Okay, so I've completely traced this. Now notice that it's showing you how it's tracing. So that way you can keep track of whether you like the way it's tracing or not. Now in order to start tracing the eye, you're going to have to start a new path. Because if you try to use the other path, it's going to drag everything over here, and then it's going to draw into the eye and all that. So you'll just click down here on New Path, and now we have path number 2. So we can just start up here anywhere and click this on down all the way around. I'm probably not going to do the whole thing because you'll probably be bored out of your mind by the time I get all this done. It might be a good idea before you start doing this to think about how you want to draw this. I mean, basically, I just play around with it, and sometimes it tends not to look natural if you're not going to, plan on how somebody would really draw. Now notice up here, it shows that we've drawn part of the eye. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'll just do the eyeball, and then to do that, I'll click on New Path, and so now we've got path number 3. So here's path number 3. I think I clicked on an extra path. And then we can click around the underside here and around the eyeball. And all the way around. So now we have the whole eye drawn. And I'll go up here so we can see what it's doing, and this will show you how you're doing that. If you want this to be thicker, then you can just move this and see how the last one I was on path number 3, so it's just going to affect path number 3. If you want to make it thicker on the other paths, you need to click on the path number and then click on that particular path, whether you want 1, 2, or 3. We haven't done 4 yet. So I'll click on path 4, and then I'll just do the eyebrow, and then we'll finish up. And on around. Now, I have never tried this on a picture that was a little bit more involved. This takes a long time if you're going to do a portrait or something like that. What I do if I'm going to use a portrait or a sketch or anything that's complicated, I'll just not have it draw in and just have it appear in my Doodly project. Okay, so here's the whole eye. You can see up here it's drawn the whole eye. So if you want to see the whole thing and how it looks, or whether you want to get rid of it or not, you just press Save and Return. If you don't like it, you just do without saving. And then let's do the preview to see them side by side to see what they look like. So there's the old one, and then here's the one that's being traced in. So obviously, if you want it to look like the whole thing is being traced in, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do the other eye. Right now it just looks kind of strange. So let's hit preview again and see what it looks like. There's the one that's just being painted on, and then here's the one that's actually being drawn in, and then the other part of it just appears because we didn't do that yet. So that's how to use the trace function. And again, if you want to fix this one, because we haven't done it yet, all you have to do is to click back on this, and it will bring it all back up so that you can finish it. So here's the one eye, and then look down here and you have the other paths. So you would just hit New Path, and then you just start on your other eye. And then again, if you want to make the path size a little bit bigger, then you'll just hit on that path. So let's do path number 1, and the path size, let's increase the path size, see what it looks like. Notice that it gets redder and redder, so you know which one that you're actually doing. And then you can look up here and then notice that this right here is a little bit thicker. We can do that with all the paths too. So let's just roll down here and increase our path size. I would recommend knowing exactly how big you're going to make it, or else it's going to look kind of odd, but I'm just showing you how to do this. Okay, so now we have the path sizes a little bit bigger, and then here's what it looks like, and you can see that it looks like the drawing of the eye, and then all you would have to do is finish it. So that's how you use Doodly Trace. Very effective for drawings that aren't real complicated. I did see a video on somebody that actually did a portrait, and it took a pretty long time, so I haven't gotten to that point where I'm going to do it yet, but hopefully this is helpful to you. And this is Doodly Trace.